Hey everyone, it's Henrique Neves here, and sorry for disappearing for so long. I had a lot of school stuff to work on. Also, I know some of you might be asking,
Just Dance 2025 edition has been announced, but I didn't see any sign of songs I want in Just Dance 2025 edition. What happened to that video?
Yeah, I know I actually ended up not making that video, which, even for me, is unfortunate, but here's what I think happened. First, lots of videos to make that prevented me from starting to work on that video. Second, my schoolwork. But don't worry, it's not entirely scrapped though, it will still come out, except it's a songs I wanted, in Just Dance 2025 edition, titled like this, because it's some songs I wanted before the announcement, and others I still want, even after the announcement, but the songs I wanted that were added will still be there, except I'll say in them that they were already added. Feel free to suggest me tips so that the songs I want in Just Dance videos of the year don't end up being scrapped late again. Another question I know you may have.
Where's my opinion on Just Dance 2025 edition, Henrique?
First songs I wanted in Just Dance 2025 edition, then that one. Well, another video can come out after the former, and then the JD25 opinion video next. Anyways, in this video, I'll be giving you my opinion on the Just Dance 2024 edition season 3, which is called Lights Out. And before we start, another thing I want to point out is that I was supposed to start giving my opinion on this season around its beginning. Anyways, let's start with the songs of this season. The exclusives of the season are
Todo de Ti by Raúl Alejandro.
This song was in beta for a while, and I'm so glad it's finally here. Don't Rush by Young T and Bugsy featuring Heady One. This one was also beta, also glad it's finally here. And Paparazzi by Lady Gaga. No way we have this song, I Must Be Dreaming. Now for the legacy songs. Circus by Britney Spears from Just Dance 2016, which is actually the extreme. Where's the classic in plus Ubisoft? Part of Me by Katy Perry from Just Dance 4. Great, this one's back in plus. Dance All Night by Anya from Just Dance 3. Let's go. Anya is back again. She had already come back in JD Plus before with Crazy Little Thing. Plus, I love how, in the remake, they added these sound wave circles. Hot For Me by AKA from Just Dance 4. Yes, another song that was never in Unlimited. And We Are Who We Are by Kesha, also from Just Dance 4. This song was already in Unlimited, but that's fine by me. Strange, there are more legacy songs than exclusive tracks, and I saw 2 more song titles in the promotional art for this season, those being Dusk Till Dawn and To You. Something's sus going on for this season, I guess. As for the seasonal progression rewards, I actually like them, but too bad there were no Don't Rush or Paparazzi avatars, or Don't Rush background. And what's that I just saw? Is that custom playlists? Like, can we finally create our own playlists? No way they added this feature back, I must be dreaming. But there's some problems I have with it. First, limited to just 30 playlists, whereas in JD22, you can add more, but I don't know if there's a limit or not. Tell me in the comments below if there is. Second, can't change the order of the songs or shuffle play anymore. Well, I think you could technically change the order by removing and re-adding some songs, but that way it's very inconvenient. Third, playlists are limited to just 30 songs, whereas in JD22, you could add up to around 5 hours and 50 minutes of songs, in average, around 100 and something songs. Anyways, let's review the exclusive maps.
Todo de Ti.
Don't Rush, and Paparazzi. Let's start with
Todo de Ti.
I'm not sure if I've ever heard of this song before I saw it in Just Dance, but as soon as I listened to it, I loved it. It's also great to see
Raúl Alejandro
is finally in Just Dance. As I said before, this song was a beta, and one from JD22 Unlimited, which, for unknown reasons, didn't get there, but now it's finally here. Yay. But I think I have a theory to why this happened. I assume they make many maps after the release of an edition, and in the planning of a season/event, they choose the best maps they have ever made that they wanna make exclusives of that season/event. Like, it was after the release of JD22 that they made this map, but in the planning of no season/event, it was among the chosen ones for exclusives. I also assume that during the production of each JD edition, they make many maps, and in the main song list, there's a limit to the amount of maps, not counting alts, that can be added. Like, they choose the top 40-ish maps they have ever made that they wanna add to the main song list of the JD edition. If so, the reason why it didn't make it to the JD23 main song list either was likely because it wasn't among the chosen 40-ish, neither in the planning of any season/events of that edition. It was among the chosen ones for exclusives, or maybe they didn't think of looking for already made but never released maps. In the JD24 main song list, it wasn't among the chosen 40-ish either. However, in the planning of a third season, instead of making new maps, they thought of looking for already made but never released maps, and tried to come up with a theme for the season that could fit well with every single one of those maps. If they thought of looking for already made but never released maps, it's a case of saying better late than never. Anyways, the map has a very fun choreo. The coach's name is
Unai,
which I think is a good name, and his outfit looks cool. The background. Not only is it inspired by the music video, which is as always cool, but it also looks pretty, and I like how there are lots of people in the background, as well as the neon lights. One of my favorites is this one that says roller party. I also noticed a difference between the beta version that was leaked months ago and the final version. Normally, the coach's glove is supposed to shine in the dark, but while it's dark, in the beta, there are parts where the coach's glove doesn't shine, mostly when his hand with the glove is up in the air, whereas in the final, it always shines, even in the parts I mentioned previously. Here's a comparison of the beta with the final. But regardless, I like how the coach's glove actually shines in the dark. Overall, 10 out of 10. Now we have Don't Rush. I've never heard of this song before I saw it in Just Dance, but as soon as I listened to it, I liked it. This is yet another beta song, and this time, one from JD23, which, for unknown reasons, didn't get there, but now it's finally here. Yay. Also, funnily enough, first, you could see this map in the background for Can't Stop the Feeling alternate in JD23, even though it hadn't been released in that edition. Second, in the beta, the picto bar had just images of the coaches themselves. Like, basically, the pictos hadn't yet started to be worked on. Also, this one word was meant to be censored. But then, for some reason, they decided to leave it uncensored. But I think the reason why they left it uncensored was because they added it to JD+, and it was meant for a main song list, in this case, the JD23 one. That's why it was meant to be censored, and JD+ exclusives tend to have less censors than maps from main song lists. Anyways, the choreo looks very fun. The coaches' names are Alex and Lucas. What great names. And I think their outfits look nice. And the background also looks nice. And I love those visual effects in the coaches. Heck, there's even this part where the background changes to this, and the coaches become neon. Cool. Overall, 9.5 out of 10. Finally we have Paparazzi. I love this song, and it was actually a song that I wanted in JD23 at first, but didn't enter. But I'm still glad it's here, because it doesn't matter where it is, it only matters that it's in the game LOL. But for some reason, it's not in any of my songs I want in Just Dance 2024 edition videos LOL. I'm also glad Lady Gaga is back to Just Dance. Can Ubisoft crown Lady Gaga the queen of JD already? She has a song called Just Dance for God's sake. Anyways, about the choreo, I heard a lot of people in the community say they didn't like it, but in my opinion, there are some moves that are actually satisfying. The coach's name is Eva Chase, which I think is a great name. She looks pretty, and the outfits that she wears look so cool, especially this one, which, not only is it inspired by the music video, which, as I already said, is as always cool, but it also looks a lot like Mickey Mouse. The background, for me, looks like a wall with pictures and newspapers, and the coach is in some pictures, which I think is cool, and I love this transition so much. My favorite picture is this one. I also love this ending where the pictures and newspapers are burning. I also heard some people say that this map is a prequel to Telephone, but I don't know if it really is one. Overall, 10 out of 10. Now let's rank all the exclusives in the Lights Out season. Number 3, Don't Rush. Number 2,
Todo de Ti.
Number 1, Paparazzi. Now I'll be sharing my final thoughts on this season. This season had 2 betas returning, which, for the community, including me, is always cool. Plus, we also had Paparazzi in the game, which is a great song. The legacy songs were also great picks, despite some of them having already been in Unlimited, but I already saw songs that were never in Unlimited come to JD Plus in monthly drops. This season also had less exclusive songs than legacy songs. So overall, in case we are not getting new songs by surprise in this season, I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. And that's all everyone. This was my opinion on the JD24 Lights Out season, and my final thoughts on it, in case we don't get new songs by surprise. What's yours? Tell me in the comments below. If you liked this video, please leave a like on it, and if you are new to this channel, and like Just Dance or Mario, please subscribe and turn on the bell, so you won't miss any new video on this channel. And also join my Discord server, and follow me on Instagram, both links are in the description down below. My name is Henrique Neves, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.